Now this video is not going to be overly glamorous. This is the aftermath of the previous ride where I had a 95-kilometre day, and a lot of that was in the rain, in the bush, and if you've seen the last video you would have heard the sand and grit in the chain. Every time there was a contact point with the chain you could hear the grit. Now, the clip I did put on YouTube was around about 40 kilometres in. So after that I did another 45 plus kilometres, give or take, and this is what I found when I got home. Oh, the weather did get worse. It was pouring, it was blowing gusts like crazy, and there would have been water all through the brakes, which is why I didn't actually hear any super metal on metal sounds toward the end of the ride. It was just absolutely horrendous conditions, but I still had fun. So this is the other pad. So that's the left pad, this is the right pad from the front. So it's still got meat on it. I've just had a look at the rear and it's still got plenty of meat on it, similar depth to this particular pad, so there's no damage to it. The clip has clearly worn one of the parts off, and for those of you who have never played with your brakes, this little fellow here is the retainer. So it has a thread on one end that goes through, and it has a clip that goes into a groove. And if I can get around this side, so screw goes in there, the threaded end is that side, and then you put the clip on that side. Now as you can see, this particular piston is still, oh hello, get it in focus and shot. This particular piston is still a little bit proud. I have got the other piston all the way back in, and what I did notice on YouTube when I started researching these brakes, and that is someone suggested you use your plastic tyre lever to move the pistons back out. That way you've got less chance of doing any damage to anything. So that's what I did, and it's working quite well. But obviously I didn't push that other one back in. So where's the story going from here? Let's pan back a bit. Rightio, so I started chasing up new rotors because obviously I've damaged the front rotor. I could salvage it if I was desperate, but I did find rotors in Australia, so I've got two of those, and apparently they're in the post as of yesterday. Now as for the pads, strap yourselves in folks, this is a long story but I'll keep it short. Couldn't find any in Australia. There was places that said they did carry them but they were out of stock. There were places that said they no longer would be available from their sites. I checked Shimano, I checked Giant, I checked a lot of other places. I put the codes in for the actual calipers and the pads, and I didn't have any great success. I found some overseas. One, when I opened the website, it told me they didn't deliver to Australia. Another, just looking at the base price and the postage, it was going to be a scam anyway. It was just well over the top, and I just couldn't find any of the genuine parts. So then I bailed from that concept and I went looking for aftermarket. I found some in England, and I went into their website, and lo and behold, they had so much information on there with all the correct information as to the caliper, what their pads would fit into, etc., which is more than I'd found elsewhere. And I thought, okay, this is looking good. Then I found the pads that were suitable for this caliper, And then they had a range of 5, maybe even 6 different compounds. So then I had to start looking at that. And in the end, I ordered 6 pairs. And here's the part I love. Within 16 hours, my Australia Post app on this phone has a tracking number showing the United Kingdom. So they're already in the post in England. And hopefully in the next 10 to 14 days, I can have the bike up and running and me riding. So I thought I'd let you know what's going on in regard to the repairs, and also the pain in the rear end trying to get parts. Anyway, catch you around.